In the distant future, the gaming industry had reached unfathomable heights, with virtual reality and neural interfaces that connected directly to a player's brain. The most notorious game of this era was The Bad Trip, a highly advanced horror game that could read players' thoughts and create tailor-made terrifying experiences designed to push each individual to their limits. Players strapped themselves into sensory deprivation chambers where their neural interface would connect them to the game's virtual world. Once inside, the game would scan their minds, accessing their deepest fears and most harrowing memories to create a personalized nightmare that would leave them gasping for breath and questioning their own sanity. Cassidy, an avid gamer and horror enthusiast, had heard the stories of players never being the same after playing The Bad Trip. Curious to test her own mental fortitude, she acquired the game and eagerly stepped into her chamber, initiating the neural link. As the virtual world materialized around her, Cassidy found herself in a decrepit, abandoned mental hospital. The dimly lit hallways were lined with rusting medical equipment, and the faint sound of distant, blood-curdling screams echoed through the building. She was alone, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that something was always lurking just out of sight. As Cassidy progressed through the game, the horror intensified. She encountered grotesque creatures that seemed to manifest from her childhood nightmares, relived traumatic memories with chilling accuracy, and faced heart-wrenching moral dilemmas that shook her to the core. The game masterfully exploited her vulnerabilities, leaving her trembling with fear and on the verge of tears. Despite the overwhelming terror, Cassidy's determination to conquer her fears kept her going. But as the game progressed, the lines between reality and the virtual world began to blur. She could no longer differentiate between the game and her own mind. Her thoughts became chaotic, betraying her and feeding the virtual world with an endless stream of new horrors. In the final level, Cassidy found herself in a barren wasteland, surrounded by darkness and silence. A voice echoed in her mind, whispering her deepest secrets and fears, taunting her with her own inadequacies. The voice grew louder and more insistent until she could no longer think, only feel the crushing weight of despair. With a burst of desperation, Cassidy disconnected from the virtual reality headset that held her mind captive. Her heart racing, she ran out of the chamber, collecting herself. But something didn't seem right. Her consciousness continued to be bombarded with alien thoughts, slowly unraveling her very essence. Vile thoughts of absolute despair consumed her being, gnawing at her ego. The voices spoke to Cassidy in relentless, hushed whispers. They showed her visions of abyssal realities, blinding her mind's eye. She screamed at the top of her voice, begging them to stop. With each scream, the visions became more vivid. Horrifying, needlessly evil malevolence mocked her, gobbling up the last strands of her sanity. Cassidy was lost. She had become a thoughtless husk, herself scrambled beyond recognition. Her consciousness was now parallel with the unrelenting terror of the Bad Trip. Just as the last remaining strands of Cassidy's sanity had lost all hope, an all-encompassing female voice boomed into the foreground.
Thank you for purchasing the trial version of The Bad Trip. For a truly immersive experience, download the complete edition for 99 credits only.
Subscribe to Quantum Dreams for more AI-generated sci-fi